Hey guys, I hope everybody's having a fantastic day, whether you're watching this in the morning, the afternoon, or in the evening. I'm glad you're all here. Real quickly, I want to say thank you to the channel members. Thank you, thank you, thank you. Couldn't do it without you guys. And thank you for anybody who comes in and checks out my knife, my EDC content. I appreciate it. You're welcome here anytime. If you're so inclined, hit that subscribe button and that bell notification icon. Keep you updated on things at the channel, and it'll really help me out. So today is a kind of a different knife, a cool knife, a value knife that is an Amazon. It's available on Amazon. It's if you guys saw the unboxing, this is the Remette or Remette-Allosaurus, which is kind of like a dinosaur name. I found that on their website. Remmette did reach out to me to see if I wanted to review this knife because they know I like fixed blades, and I said sure because it's very economical. And it's a knife, if I was buying knives, I would probably check out because it's available on Amazon. I want to say it's $49.95. It does not come with the ulti-clip. I'm going to get into that. A medium-sized knife. I've been beating the heck out of it for a couple of days, and I'm going to give you my thoughts. But first off, I want to tell you guys how this comes. So it does not come with an ulti-clip. Right now at Amazon, it's like $49.95. On Remmette's website, it's like $52, which for a full tang D2 fixed blade, that's kind of a hard use beater, I think it's a very fair, good price. The knife is a little bigger than what I would normally carry, but I'm going to show you some size comparisons. And if you're looking for a good camp knife, hunting knife, work knife, beater, this is a great knife. It comes with a really nice Tech-Lock style system, right? So the reason I took the Tech-Lock off, really good barrel mounting hardware. The reason I took the Tech-Lock off was I like more light carry. So I've been carrying it in my back pocket just to see how it would work as an EDC knife. And it works in my back pocket, and I'm not a tall guy. Now, one thing that this came with, when you see this knife, it comes with this ferro rod mounted between this Tech-Lock, where you can mount this to your belt either vertically or you can rotate it and mount it scout carry. It comes with this ferro rod that also has a striking stick, right, or a striking rod. I tried to get it to strike off of my knife, and you can right up here at the top tip. It will strike the ferro rod, but what I found is it does great with this as well. It's a good ferro rod, but I keep it in my pack. I'm not going to keep it mounted with the knife because I'm looking at the knife. It is marketed as a survival tactical knife. So the ferro rod is good quality. It works well. I just don't want it is bulky on my sheath. So I did modify that. I've carried this both with some basic Amazon loops and then the ulti-clip. I'm still kind of falling, unless it's a real tiny knife, towards the ulti-clips or a deep concealment clip or another type of in-pocket clip because that's just how I roll. But you've got great retention on this Kydex sheath. There's absolutely no rattle. You've got this nice thumb push off here. And I like when a knife retains like that and actually fires out. Not that that's anything that you're going to need, but what that means to me is when I have the knife in my back pocket or in my right pocket, because this would easily be a folder replacement, a one and done type of knife, because it is very beefy, but it's also very slicey. And it's just, it works well. So just to give you an idea, I cut paper when I did the unboxing. I've been chopping wood with this. I've been cutting cardboard with this. I've been cutting some rope with this that's actually thicker than paracord over at my mom's house. But if you look at the blade, it's black washed, but it's definitely got some wear marks on it that I'll be able to wash off here in a second. But let's see how it's still cutting after what I put it through. You do have a nice sharpening tool here. You can see where your plunge grind comes in right there. This might be easier to see without the paper. You can see that plunge grind, it could come back a little further. You know, if I was going to make a recommendation, I would say move that plunge grind back a little more, but they've at least accommodated for it. I like where the jimping is. This is kind of a one grip style knife. It's G10 handles on a D10 or D2 full tang construction knife. It's thinner, so it's thinner handles. They're not 100% flush, so I don't know if you can see here, but you've got a little displacement. This 100% even around the entire perimeter of the knife. So the scales are cut just slightly, ever so slightly thinner. I don't feel it in my hand. It does not feel like a problem. You've got nice jimping. Again, this is your grip. You can, of course, do a finger grip if you want to. You've got this kind of clip point blade with a nice swedge here. We'll get some measurements in a second. And this is rounded over, right? So if I'm going to use a ferro rod, this right here at the tip is 90 degrees. It's sharp enough to get it to strike. To me, that's a little too close to the tip, but in this package, they include this little striker, and it strikes fine if you're looking for a ferro rod, or you can just keep it in your bug out bag. But let's that was me missing. Very slicey. It's a thicker grind. Let me get some cardboard real quick. Cutting down my box where I don't have to worry about doxing myself anymore because I've gotten that part off of it. So it's not the thinnest blade geometry, but it's not designed to be. It cuts very, very well. It's kind of like a, I don't know if you'd call that about a 3/4, maybe a little bit less of a flat grind. Done very well. What I wanted to do is I wanted to see if I could get these scales off, only to see what I was working with underneath. I like having the ability to remove scales if I need to, because I can put some wax underneath it. I can draw it off if I get it wet. If I take it out and I clean an animal, which I'm not going to, I'm not a game guy. But what I will do, that gives you a good view of that tang and that weight relief, because that's something I'm going to talk about when I put the scales back on here in a second, is how well and how well balanced this knife feels in the hand. So that's the stripped down Remette Allosaurus. What I'm going to do is take a little bit of this KPL. This is a cleaner slash blade protectant, allegedly both. I don't know why it's not squirting out. Alright, I'm going to see if I can clean some of this debris off the blade from where I've been chopping it into that log. Because the finish is kind of a black stonewash finish, and it seemed to hold up pretty well. I don't think I've got scratches in the finish. But I also am going to rub this stuff on the tang of the knife. Not that I'm worried about it rusting, but while you've got it apart, clean that oil and crap off there. Put a little wax on it, just to give it that extra protection. And we will take our barrels, pop them through. I like the contouring and the milling on the scale. It gives it a little bit of texture, makes it comfortable. I'm sure that's done with the CNC machine, but it looks like quality G10. and I do like the texturing on it. You do have a lanyard tube here, or a lanyard slot, if you wanted to carry a lanyard. But we're going to get some size comparisons. We are going to get some weights. We're going to put it up against some other knives, and then I'm going to let you guys go. Long story short, I like the knife. For 50 bucks or under 50 bucks, if I was looking for a camp knife, a hiking knife, a medium-sized EDC knife, like a one and done. I did a video a few days ago of a one and done knife where I'm carrying one knife, kind of replaces my my primary carry. Let's do a couple of size comparisons. Much, much, much smaller than our cold steel. Going to be longer than our bug out, and it is going to be right about the same size as our PM2. So that kind of gives you an idea compared to some folding knives that you might have held or handled. Let me show it to you next to a Sharpie. And then the fixed blades, I was going to break out my SE3. And I was going to break out my County-Com R4A, ready for action, which is also a D2 knife. It's going to be right around the exact same size as the SE3. The County-Com, I'm sure a lot of you guys haven't checked out the size of that knife. I've actually got a tech lock on my SE3, which is exactly how this one comes. Again, it's a great retention method, but I prefer a lighter Ulti-Clip pack. So the grip is great. You've got a reverse grip if you need a Slurpee saver. I hacked into that maple stump that I've got. It's kind of a wedge, like it looks like a cheese wedge, just to chop with it, to check the edge, to see how much it could take and if it would roll, and it didn't. I mean, I beat on it for quite a while. If you go to Remmette's website, they measured it at 59 to 61 HRC. I don't know what that means for D2, but do beware, and I think that's probably very acceptable. And again, this is what I consider a budget knife for a full-size fixed blade or medium-sized fixed blade. As well, let's just get a tape measure and decide. You guys can decide if it's medium or large. Kind of large for me, but it's a medium-sized knife because it's about the same size as our Paramilitary 2. So it's going to come in right over 8 inches, like 8 1/16 from the lanyard hole. If I measure it from the back of the scale, it's right under 8 inches. The blade is right over 3.5 inches from the front of that G10 scale. The cutting area is 3 3/4. So you got more cutting area than you do from where I was measuring, which is right here. Your handle is primarily going to be right around 3 1/16 if you want to keep it inside here. Now, you can easily let your finger float. You're not going to be able to choke up on the knife, but you can easily go back, and you're at 3 3/4. Back here, if you had a lanyard, it would even give you more room to hold your hand. But I've got a medium large size hand with kind of slimmer fingers, and it fits my hand very, very well. I like the weight of it. Again, to me, it feels like a good tool, like a good something. I've been beating the hell out of it, and if I was looking for, like I said, a good camp knife, something to really put some work behind, even to try to destroy, I think this knife is pretty dope when it comes to being strong. 16.20 on the blade thickness, 13.45, and then up here at the tip, it does get pretty sharp. I did stab it into a lot of stuff, and the tip did not bend at all, 0.26. And then behind the edge, the best I can get, which will just be, whoop, get up there at the top of that bevel, 0.0180. 0.0195. 0.145. I got a little low there. And again, the other thing that I kind of liked about this knife is you've got kind of low-key branding. You do have Remmette on the blade there. I'm not too bothered by it. And you've got the D2 steel right there. Not too bothered by that. $49.95, guys, roughly 50 bucks. Seems like a really good knife for the price if that's what you're looking for, which is, you know, a medium-sized EDC knife. I've been carrying it as an EDC knife, and it's a big EDC knife for me. You know, it's more of something I would love to take camping. It's something that I felt like, because of its size and it's a tactical survival knife, kind of is how it's marketed, that I needed to beat on it a little bit more, so I did. I'm sure it also opens Amazon packages fine, cuts paper great, but it is a beater. I think you could jam it through some stuff. I think you've got a stable point here. I like the geometry of the blade. I like the thickness of the blade stock. The weight relief inside that skeletonized tang. Just a great knife, in my opinion. And you can also use this as a skull crusher, hammer, tent spike driver, glass breaker. Great retention. Guys, this is the Remette Allosaurus. I think I'm pronouncing that right. And when you look at it on Amazon, they'll call it the Tactical Survival Knife. I'll also leave a link. I'll leave an affiliate link to my Amazon listing of this knife, which is $49.95. And I'll also leave a link to the Remmette site where you can read more about what they say about it. That's where I saw the name Allosaurus. And I think it's $52 on sale there, so I think it's less expensive at Amazon. It's the Remmette store on Amazon. So anyways, guys, take a look at it. Hope you enjoyed the video. I'm trying to bring in some not just super expensive knives, not just moderately expensive knives, kind of all price points. So I appreciate y'all's patience. I hope you enjoyed the video. Give me a thumbs up, give me a thumbs down, but really, please subscribe if you haven't yet. Most importantly, look out for that guy or gal to your left. Please look out for the guy or gal to your right. Look out for each other. Go forward with love and tolerance in your heart, and choose debate, not hate. I love you all. Peace.